Now, a question that sometimes comes up in the use of TriplyDB is how do I get my API token? So there's some documentation on TriplyDB which shows you how to automate things, so how to run things in a scripted way. And in order to do that, in order to talk to TriplyDB from your script, you must of course be authenticated, right? Because only when you're authenticated are you allowed to actually write things to TriplyDB. You don't want to have, say, arbitrary users being able to access your database, right? And that would obviously be a very bad thing. And this is why TriplyDB hands out API tokens for registered users. In order to obtain such an API token, you go to your own TriplyDB instance. I go to triplydb.com, which is the instance that I have an account to, and you log in. And you can just log in the normal, regular way, how you would also log into, say, a GUI session. If you are logged in, you see this user icon over here. And then under the user icon, you see things like my account and user settings. I also have admin settings because I'm also an administrator on this instance. You will only see that option if you're actually an administrator. Now, we are not talking about administrator stuff today. We are just going for the user settings. Now, in user settings, you notice that there is a couple of tabs, and one of them is called API tokens, and that's exactly where you can create your own tokens. So as you can see, I have here 2 tokens that I created in the past, and I'm going to create a new token now for demonstration purposes. And the token has to have some name. So say you are creating an application, you can give the name of the application, something like that, so that you can easily recognize it. And then you must choose the access level. You can have only read access, so then you can, for instance, access a private Sparkle endpoint. But if you also want to write data, if you also want to remove graphs, add graphs, do stuff like that, you also need write access. And finally, you could even go for management access. I do not use that very often, but with management access, you can also automatically create organizations and add users to organizations and say more stuff like that, right? So not data, but more like metadata or meta structure related. So I most often go with write access because then I can upload, for instance, from an ETL, I can upload new files to TriplyDB in an automated way. And read access would also be fine, but that's more for a read-only application. Now, when you create the token, it is only shown to you once. This is part of the secure aspect of the token. So you can then copy it and paste it into your application. And then from the application, you can now access TriplyDB. Never share this API token with anybody else. Just close this window and that's it. Now, in the future, if you want to change things about the token, you can do that over here. And you can also delete these tokens. So, for instance, this one was a one-time test. I haven't used it after that. You can also see my last use was already a month ago. So this could be safely to delete, right? Okay, so this was a very short look into how do I create these tokens. So log in, go to your user settings, and then finally to the API tokens tab where you can create your tokens. Okay, that's it.